the hunt for the enchanted treasure. Once upon a time, there was a group of pirates led by Captain Blackbeard. They sailed the 7 seas in search of treasure, and their ship, the Jolly Roger, was feared by all who encountered it. One day, while exploring a remote island, the pirates stumbled upon a map that led to a hidden treasure. The map was old and tattered, but Captain Blackbeard knew that it was the real deal. The crew eagerly set sail, following the map's directions to a small island in the middle of the ocean. As they approached the island, they could see a glimmering light in the distance. It was the treasure, shining in the sun. The pirates cheered and readied their swords and pistols, ready to defend their newfound riches against any who dared to claim it as their own. But little did they know, the island was guarded by a powerful sorceress who would stop at nothing to protect the treasure. The pirates would have to use all their cunning and bravery to overcome the sorceress and claim the treasure for themselves. The sorceress had sensed their presence and had summoned a fierce storm to deter them from their quest. The wind howled and the waves crashed against the ship, threatening to send the pirates to their doom. But Captain Blackbeard was not one to back down from a challenge. He rallied his crew and urged them to press on through the storm. With grit and determination, they navigated the treacherous waters and finally reached the island. As they disembarked onto the sandy shore, they were met with a wall of thorny vines that seemed to grow and shift with a life of their own. The pirates drew their swords and hacked their way through the vines, but they seemed to regenerate as quickly as they were cut. It was then that they heard the sorceress's voice, booming from the heart of the island. "You shall not pass," she warned them. "This treasure is mine to guard, and I will not let you take it from me." But the pirates were not easily deterred. They had come too far to turn back now. With a fierce battle cry, they charged towards the heart of the island, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. As the pirates advanced through the thorny vines, they soon found themselves in a dense jungle that seemed to stretch on forever. The trees were so thick that it was almost impossible to see the sky above, and strange noises echoed through the undergrowth. But the pirates pressed on, hacking their way through the jungle with their swords and machetes. They encountered all manner of obstacles along the way: quicksand pits, venomous snakes, and treacherous ravines. As they journeyed deeper into the jungle, they began to notice that the trees were starting to thin out. And then, finally, they saw it, the treasure. It was a glittering pile of gold and jewels, stacked high in the center of a clearing. The pirates could hardly believe their eyes. They had finally found it, the treasure they had been seeking for so long. But before they could reach it, they heard the sorceress's voice once more. "You have come too far," she said. "The treasure is mine, and I will not let you take it from me." The pirates readied their weapons, preparing to face whatever challenge the sorceress had in store for them. But to their surprise, she did not attack. Instead, she began to chant a strange incantation, her voice rising and falling in a hypnotic rhythm. The pirates felt a strange energy begin to surround them, and they knew that they were in the presence of a powerful magic. They would need all their wits and skill to overcome the sorceress and claim the treasure for themselves. The pirates knew they needed a plan to overcome the sorceress's magic. They huddled together, whispering their ideas to one another. They knew that brute force would not work against such a powerful enchantment, but perhaps they could outsmart the sorceress. After much discussion, they came up with a plan. They would create a diversion to distract the sorceress while a small group of pirates snuck around to flank her. With luck, they could catch her off guard and defeat her before she had a chance to unleash her magic. The pirates sprang into action, their swords and pistols at the ready. They charged towards the sorceress, yelling and shouting, creating as much noise as possible. The sorceress was taken aback by the sudden onslaught, and her chant faltered. Meanwhile, a small group of pirates snuck around the edge of the clearing, making their way towards the sorceress from behind. They moved quickly and quietly, their eyes fixed on the glittering pile of treasure in the center of the clearing. But just as they were about to make their move, the sorceress turned, her eyes flashing with anger. "You shall not take the treasure from me," she screamed, unleashing a bolt of lightning that crackled through the air. The pirates were caught off guard, and they scattered, trying to avoid the deadly blast. But then, to their surprise, they heard a strange sound, a sound they had never heard before. It was the sound of singing. As the pirates looked around, they saw that the sorceress was singing not a chant or a spell, but a song. Her voice was beautiful and haunting, and the pirates felt themselves falling under her spell. The pirates were surprised by the sorceress's sudden change in tactics. Her singing was unlike anything they had ever heard before, and they felt a strange power emanating from her voice. They tried to resist the enchantment, but it was too powerful. They were helpless before the sorceress's song. As the sorceress sang, she moved closer and closer to the treasure. The pirates watched in awe as she reached out and touched the glittering pile of gold and jewels. Suddenly, the treasure began to glow with a bright, unearthly light. The pirates felt a surge of energy course through their bodies, and they realized that the sorceress's singing had somehow unlocked the magic of the treasure. They knew that they had to act quickly if they wanted to claim the treasure for themselves. With all their might, the pirates tried to resist the sorceress's enchantment. They closed their eyes and focused their minds, trying to break free from the spell. Slowly but surely, they felt their wills returning to them. At the same time, the sorceress's song began to falter. Her voice grew weaker, and the pirates saw an opportunity to strike. They charged towards her, swords and pistols at the ready. The sorceress tried to resist, unleashing blasts of lightning and waves of energy. But the pirates were ready for her, dodging and weaving around her attacks. With a final blow, they knocked the sorceress to the ground, disarming her and leaving her powerless. Breathless and exhausted, the pirates stood before the treasure. They had overcome the sorceress's magic and claimed the treasure for themselves. As they gazed at the glittering pile of gold and jewels, they knew that their adventure had been worth it. They had proven themselves to be true pirates, and they would always remember the day they claimed the treasure of the sorceress. And so, the pirates set sail for home, their ship loaded with riches beyond their wildest dreams. As they looked out at the open sea, they knew that there were many more adventures to come. But for now, they would enjoy the spoils of their hard-won victory, and savor the memory of their daring quest for treasure.